Hi there, welcome to another episode of the Revo British Motocross Championship Studio Show, fueled by Gulf Race Fuels. Today we're joined by Conrad. Plenty of questions to ask you. It's been a bit of an up and down year, just with crazy things going on here and there. You ended up winning your third British title, an MX2 title. You must be chuffed with the results and how it's gone.
Yeah, definitely. Like you said, it's been a crazy year. There's been so many things that have gone on, and like the way it kind of started, it was so hectic, and then it kind of finished a bit like more relaxed, shall I say. I managed to wrap it up around early, which was amazing. But yeah, had to come back from an injury. That was difficult. That was tough. A lot of kind of behind the scenes things went on then, which was like, yeah, it was pretty gnarly. Like it was. We originally thought it was a broken collarbone, and then it kind of broke into 7 different pieces, and I had to have a lot of metal work and things like that. And I just spent every day for like 3 weeks straight in oxygen, laser, just living in there. And it was tough. It was difficult, but I had to do what I had to do to try and get back, basically. And yeah, I'm happy that I've done it now, and we managed to wrap it up. So yeah, third British title is for sure something to be proud of, and hopefully not my last as well.
You brought me on to one of my questions, which was going to be what was going through your mind that day. Canada Heights, you're on the start straight, you sat down, you know full well you're injured. What was just going through your mind and all the emotions that were coming to you at that point?
Yeah, obviously I went down, and I kind of, with the adrenaline and things like that, didn't really know what was going on, and give my shoulder a bit of a move, heard a load of crunch, and I thought, oh no, something's not good here. And like, touch wood, I've not had too many injuries, so I'm not really clued up on what feels like what and things like that. So I didn't know straight away. Obviously and then I went back, sat down in the pit area, and my trainer Justin Morris was there, and I said to him, I said, oh, my shoulder something's not right. I thought I dislocated it originally because I've done that before, and my shoulder just felt really short. And yeah, he pulled the top out, and he said, no, it's your collarbone. So yeah, luckily it was the collarbone. Obviously it's one of the fastest healing bones in the body, so it was kind of, yeah, I was gifted with a bit of luck on that day. Not obviously the crash, but it being the collarbone, and yeah, 3 weeks of being back on the bike. So it was still tender getting back on the bike, but yeah, we done what we had to do.
I remember it well actually, because I was stood behind the start when it happened, and you came past, and obviously you went off to wherever you went, hospital, and your mechanic was backing up later on, and he come out to watch the MX1 race, and I said, well, what are you thinking? What's the sort of news? And he said, collarbone, I think. I said, oh, what's that mean for the championship? And he just said, we'll be back for the next one. I thought, God.
Yeah, it was, I think from the moment, I think Canada Heights to the next round, I think it was 4 weeks, I think, or something along those lines. And yeah, I had to be back for the next one. I kind of, yeah, I couldn't afford to miss a round with the battle that was going on with Isaac at the time. So yeah, I had to be back for the next one, and we kind of, yeah, from the moment we got the results back from the doctor that it was a collarbone. He originally said that this injury would take 3 months. That was the words I got from the doctor, and I was kind of just like
on the floor,
sat in there staring into space, and I was thinking, no, that's not the news that I want to hear right now. But luckily, I managed to heal up quick. Like I said, that oxygen was amazing for me. I felt the effect straight away. And yeah, like I said, managed to get back on within 3 weeks and get back to the following round.
Was it, I think it was Blacksall, was it, the next round that you come back to? I was asking you how it felt and everything at the time. You didn't have much, obviously, riding beforehand, because you're coming straight back off the injury and going straight back into racing. How did it feel that day for you? Were you at 100% riding, or was it damage limitations, get what we can for the championship?
I definitely wasn't at 100%. I had a little ride out once before Blacksall, just to kind of see how it was, and I was just trying to kind of keep it as minimal as possible because it was still sore, like it was still fresh, and although we had the plate in and it was strong and things like that, it was just all still a bit like you could tell I lost a load of muscle in the back of my shoulder as well. So whenever I rode, I had aches and pains. But at Blacksaw, it wasn't actually my shoulder that was the problem. We had a couple of bike issues there.
Yeah.
And that kind of stopped me. But luckily, again, we managed to still salvage a 2-2 on that day. So yeah, the next round, the following round after the collarbone injury and the bike problems, like, yeah, I couldn't have kind of wished for any better, really. It'd been nice to go 1-1, but yeah, that was what we had on the day.
You got the result in the end, didn't you?
Exactly,
yeah. Obviously this year was all up in the air at the start of the season. We didn't know what you were doing, we didn't know where you were going, what plans were. You ended up running this privateer team backed by some great sponsors. Give us a sort of look into your mindset before the season starts. You don't know what's really happening, or at least we don't know what's happening. And then you go about setting up this 426 sevens team, and yeah, just give us your thoughts on what was happening at that point in your life.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy, to be honest. I was trying to enjoy my off season and not really have much to do with motocross and things like that, and all that came about, and it was a pretty tough time. It was for sure it was, but looking back on it now, it was probably one of the best things that ever happened to me, because along this journey I've met some amazing people, very loyal sponsors in fact, and like I said, without any of them, without Stebbins, without Fly, without ABS, without Shane Hogg, without Tolly Jewelers, West Country Bolt, without all of them, and there's many more, I wouldn't have been able to do any of it this year, and they've been amazing, let alone my parents, my girlfriend, my family, friends, you know. And like I said, it was kind of almost the best thing that happened to me. It was just nice to kind of be in our own environment, have amazing people around us, all kind of friendly, and yeah, and it worked for us. And it's kind of, like I said, we've got another British Championship as a privateer this year, so that's pretty special to me. This is for sure my my kind of most meaningful British Championship I've won to do it.
I was gonna say, is this one that much more sweeter?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. 1000%. This one means the most to me. Just purely because I can give back to the people that's kind of come with me and stuck by me and been so loyal. And this is kind of the least they deserve, really. So yeah, this is definitely the most meaningful win. Yeah.
So coming off this, we're at the last round of the British. You've won the MX2 title. You're now jumping up to the MX1 class this weekend on your privateer team. There's an MX1 title up for grabs between Tommy and Harry. Obviously, we all know you're friends with Tommy. And does that play in your mind? Are you going to be helping him or anyway, or are you just going to stick to your own thing and get the result you want?
No, for sure not. I was actually kind of questioning whether I wanted to race the MX1 this weekend for that simple fact that I don't want to get involved. It's not my championship to get involved in. Them two have had a fantastic season. I'm friends with Tommy, obviously great friends. I'm friends with Harry. I speak to Harry, so I'm not looking to get involved this weekend. Them two have been at it all year, and they've had some fantastic racing. So yeah, for me this weekend, my goal is to go out there and go 1-1. I want to get the two great starts, and I want to just get away from them guys, and to go 1-1 would be amazing for me, not only because of the result, just to kind of stay out of it and ride my own race, you know. So yeah, no, this weekend's certainly not about that. I'm just going to do my thing, stay out of any trouble, and most importantly, just get some experience for next year. Yeah, at the end of the day, I've got to race these guys next year, so it's going to be nice to mix out with them today. Had a bit of a race with them last weekend, which was nice. So yeah, it should be tomorrow. Sorry. So yeah, it should be good to end the season here in Landrake.
That brings me nicely on to my next question. You're obviously racing here next year. You just said that in the British Championship.
Yeah.
What are your plans overall? Any contracts on the table? Obviously, I know possibly you can't go into stuff like that, but what are your goals and plans for next year?
So I'm going to be competing in the British Championship again, and I'm going to be doing some GPs again, kind of pretty much the same as this year, maybe a few less GPs, but nothing's actually official on where I'm going to be yet, whether I'm going to be continuing my own thing or going somewhere else. Nothing's official yet as of yet, so yeah, I'm looking forward to kind of seeing how the next few weeks play out, shall I say, and sitting down with my team at the minute and kind of deciding what's the best direction for me and what's the kind of the best way to go for next year.
Rumours are there are some contracts on the table. I don't know, obviously if you can't talk about it, but I was just going to ask you what your favourite colour is.
Yeah, at the minute, there's obviously I've had some offers and things like that, like it's normal throughout the season, yeah. But like I said, nothing's confirmed. Yeah, at the minute I'm still KTM, you know, so I've been KTM all my life. KTM Husqvarna on the Austrian bike, so yeah, at the minute nothing's changing. And yeah, I'm feeling comfortable where I'm at and looking forward to going out and having a solid weekend.
You've been one of the UK's brightest motocross stars from a young age. I've always thought that takes on a lot of pressure, and how would that take its toll on you as a youngster growing up? Obviously, the British UK fans, motocross is like in our blood. We love it, and we've loved you growing up and everything. But it's a lot of pressure as a youngster to grow up with that pressure. How have you dealt with it over the years, and has it been something that's weighed on you or not?
Yeah, definitely, it's a lot of pressure. I mean, I probably haven't dealt with it in the best way. Not so much the pressure, but just the kind of the upcoming of my career. Started off real young, going into the deep end, and it all started well. And I just kind of haven't really achieved what I wanted to achieve, shall I say? And it's been a tough journey. It's been a very tough journey, and it's been difficult for us to kind of put a finger on it, what the problem is and things like that. Not necessarily a problem, but what's not clicking on the world stage. But yeah, it takes time, and I truly believe that some people just achieve their goals a little bit later or at different times than others do. Some people kind of do it a bit sooner and things like that. But yeah, when I do achieve my goals, and yeah, hopefully I can, it'll just be a little bit more sweeter than what it is if I'd have done it a bit sooner, I suppose.
Yeah. You won that 85 World Championship all those years ago. It was a time when I was on 85s as well, so I was thinking, wow, he's gone and won an 85 World Championship. What was that like for you, and does that day have a good place in your mind, in your memory?
Well, that was a long time ago now.
Yeah.
That was crazy. That's 9 years ago.
Yeah.
So it was a long time ago, but yeah, that was an amazing time. Like, and still the people that were with me then were the people on my team this year.
Yeah.
So that was pretty special to me. And yeah, it was awesome. That's an amazing achievement. You know, that's there with me for life. Yeah, it might not be the top of people's memory, but yeah, there's not many people that can say they've won a junior world championship, you know. So that was what we were working so hard for back then, and we managed to achieve it. And yeah, like I said, it's just a shame that I haven't been able to kind of take it to the world stage in the adults, but for sure I'm not done yet, and I'm looking to kind of go back at it and hopefully have another shot. Sorry.
Good. Looking back on your season this year, coming back to this year now, what ride stands out for you the most? What round sticks out in your memory and you thought you laid it all online and it was your best ride of the season?
Second moto at Fox Hills. For me, that was my best ride. Wasn't many people's best ride, I suppose, but for me it was my kind of most favourite ride. Not just because of what happened, just because like I've just felt myself on the bike. Like there's very few times, because I do get it, but there's very few times where you just get the kind of feeling where nothing can go wrong, and you kind of, I went down on the first turn. Me and Isaac went down, both 1 and 2 in the championship, and we were both riding so good in that second motor, and we come all the way through the pack, and that was the one that stood out to me. I rode that was kind of one of the best that I've ever rode, and that was a gnarly track that day. That was that was kind of baked hard and rutty, and yeah, for me they're not usually my kind of favourite conditions, but that day for me was my favourite race this year.
You're obviously in the paddock, you've got your eyes everywhere. We thought a good question to ask would be, you being a young prospect yourself and coming through, who who do you see now as the rising talent in the UK, and who impresses you most?
I see a few guys actually in the MXY2 class. There's a few guys up and coming. Charlie Hayman's one of them.
Yeah.
Incredible talent on a bike. Ben Musto, I like to watch a lot. Dom Newbury, he's also a great rider.
Yeah.
Wolbein, a good 125 rider. There's a few good names out there up and coming. There's some, like I said, and that's just in the MXY2 class. You know, that's without even looking into the youth and things like that. I do try to watch as much of it as I can because it's cool for me to see. You know, like this. Yeah, one day I know I'm going to be racing them guys. Just like, I was looking up to Tommy when I was a kid, and now I'm racing him, and it's like it's mad really. But I'll be racing them kids as well soon.
It's weird how you set out in your classes growing up, and you're this young kid, but then Tommy's in the MX1, but obviously they're stuck there, and then you catch them up and you're in the same category.
Yeah, it's crazy, it is mad. It is, but that's just how the sport works, and that's why it's so good, and that's why, the fans love it and things like that. But they're just a few names that I've kind of, that I've watched and I've been impressed with throughout the year, so I'm looking forward to seeing how they kind of grow throughout the future and how their kind of career plans out.
Obviously, Nation's coming up, team's been announced. People would be angry if I didn't ask the question. Obviously, gutted not to be in the team, and a lot of people thought you would be on the team. What are your thoughts on that? And just looking forward, are you just going to support the team and watch from afar and think about it next year?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I'll always, whether I'm picked or not, I'll always support the team 100%. You know, it's Team GB. Like no matter who's on the team, we're all one big team. And it's a shame not to be picked, but I understand the circumstances and things like that. And for me this year, I was kind of 250, 450, and then I was injured and wasn't really sure where I was at. So I understand the decision, and for sure I'll be watching, and I wish them guys all the best.
A couple of questions I like to ask now with anyone, any rider, if it's in a paddock or in an interview. What age did you start riding at?
First rode a bike when I was 2. I was 2 and I first rode a bike. It was a little PW50. We used to ride around this field near my house. And my dad always used to ride around on the back, and one day he hopped off the back, jumped off the back, and I carried on riding. I think the first time I had a little crash, but after that it was good. We carried on going, and it started so early. It's mad to look back and think how long that's how long I've been riding already.
So like pretty much everyone's your first bike was a PW50?
PW50, yeah. I think that was the only first bike back then.
I know.
That was kind of everyone's first bike, so yeah.
Right. What's your favourite racing memory from any point in your career? It could be 65s, it could be MX2. What's your favourite racing memory?
For me, it's either obviously winning the World Juniors on an 85, or my first EMX 250 race on the Husky where I won one. That was pretty special to me as well, against some good guys. Just moved up onto a 125 first year in the 250s, and came out with a bang. So that was an awesome race for me as well.
Your race number is 426. Is there any special reason how you came to have this number, or you chose it from a young age, or what?
So basically, a bit of a funny story.
There's always a story with a race number. And how
it's not much of a story, but basically when we moved to Europe and started doing the European 85s and things like that, you had to be a 3-digit number. And for some reason, my granddad was in charge of choosing the numbers, and I have no idea where 426 came from. I have no idea, but that was what you chose, and it stuck with me ever since.
That's it, and that's you for life, isn't it?
Yeah, that's me. I went to my obviously original number was 44. When I was a kid, I wanted to be like Ricky Carmichael. So I went before, but it was taken at the time when I first entered my race season. So we chose 44, and that stuck for a while. And then my granddad came out with 426. I have no idea why. I don't really think he knows either, but it's kind of stuck, and that's me now. I like it. I don't really know anyone that's any other person that's number 426.
No, it's your own brand now as well.
Yeah, it's quite cool. I like it. So that's me now for the rest of my career.
Thank you for doing this interview. obviously all the best for tomorrow. Whatever goes down, whatever happens, all the best. And hope to see you back here next year.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you very much for your time.
Yep, all good.
Perfect.
Nice one.
Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate it a lot.
Awesome job.
Right. Does that go straight out now, does it?
Yeah, that was live.
Oh, awesome.